If phone cameras were flat, your photos would look terrible. Place your phone on a flat table. Now tap it lightly. Notice something? It doesn't sit flat, it wobbles. And the reason is sitting right there on the back, that raised camera bump. It's one of the most obvious design features on modern phones. And honestly, it feels a little annoying. It collects dust, it scratches easily, it makes your phone uneven. So why is it there? Why would companies design something that sticks out on a device we carry everywhere? Shouldn't the camera be flat, clean, seamless? Here's the strange part. This flaw isn't a mistake. In fact, it's one of the most important parts of your phone. Because that tiny bump is hiding something much bigger, something that completely changed how phone cameras work. And once you see it, you'll never look at your phone the same way again. Here's a simple truth most people don't realize. Better photos require more physical space. Not better software, not just AI, actual space. Inside your phone's camera are multiple layers, lenses, sensors, stabilization systems, all stacked together. And each of these parts needs distance to work properly. But phones are designed to be ultra-thin. That creates a conflict. Thin phone, thick camera. So engineers had two choices: make the entire phone thicker or let the camera stick out. And they chose the bump. But that's just the surface of the story. Because the real reason goes much deeper, all the way down to how cameras actually capture light. To understand why camera bumps exist, we need to understand one simple idea. Photography is all about light. A camera works by capturing light through a lens and projecting it onto a sensor. The more light it captures, the better the image. That's why professional cameras have big lenses. They need space to bend and focus light properly. Inside those lenses, light travels through multiple glass elements. Each one adjusts focus, sharpness, and depth. Now imagine trying to shrink all of that into a device that fits in your pocket. That's exactly what smartphone engineers had to do. But here's the problem. When you make a camera thinner, you reduce the distance light can travel, and that reduces image quality. So to keep improving photos, engineers needed more room inside the camera system, and that's when the bump started to appear. Modern smartphones are incredibly crowded inside. Every millimeter is packed with battery, processor, speakers, antennas. There's almost no empty space. Now add a high-quality camera system into that. It simply doesn't fit. Especially as cameras became more advanced. Phones started adding multiple lenses, optical zoom, image stabilization. Each feature requires extra components, extra thickness, extra room, but users still want thin phones. Sleek, lightweight, easy to hold. So engineers faced a tough compromise. They couldn't expand inward, so they expanded outward. That outward expansion is the camera bump. That bump isn't empty space, it's packed with advanced technology. Inside it, you'll often find optical image stabilization. This system physically moves the lens to reduce blur when your hand shakes. That requires tiny motors, and those motors need space. Some phones even use periscope lenses. These bend light sideways inside the phone to create real optical zoom. It's like fitting a miniature telescope into your device. Without the bump, these features wouldn't exist, and without those features, your photos would look very different. So what feels like a design flaw is actually a performance upgrade. But here's where things get even more interesting. Because the bump isn't just about function, it's also about perception. Take a look at modern smartphones. The camera bump isn't hidden anymore, it's emphasized. Big lenses, metal rings, glossy finishes. Why? Because the camera has become the most important feature of a phone. People don't upgrade for calls, they upgrade for photos. So companies highlight the camera visually. The bump becomes a symbol. It says, this phone takes better pictures. Even if you don't understand the technology, your brain associates bigger lenses with better quality. It's similar to how large speakers suggest powerful sound, or big engines suggest faster cars. This is called visual signaling. The design communicates performance. So the bump isn't just tolerated, it's marketed. If you compare older phones to modern ones, You'll notice a clear trend. Early smartphones had flat backs, small cameras, limited quality. Then cameras improved, and the bump appeared. Over time, it grew. More lenses, bigger sensors, more features. Today, some phones have entire camera islands on the back, and interestingly, users have accepted it. What once felt like a flaw now feels normal, even expected. But engineers are still trying to solve the problem, because ideally, they still want cameras to be flat. The camera bump might not last forever. Engineers are already working on new solutions. Some phones are experimenting with under-display cameras, liquid lenses that change shape, advanced computational photography. These technologies aim to reduce the need for physical space. But for now, physics still wins. Better light capture requires depth, and depth requires space, so until a breakthrough changes that, the bump is here to stay. So the next time your phone wobbles on a table, or the camera bump annoys you, remember this: that tiny raised section is the reason your phone can capture stunning photos. It's not a flaw, it's a compromise. A trade-off between design and performance, between thinness and capability. And in that small space, engineers managed to fit something incredible. A camera powerful enough to replace devices that once filled entire bags. Which means that little bump on your phone is actually one of the most advanced pieces of technology you carry every day. And once you see that, it stops being annoying and starts becoming impressive.